Hello everyone. Welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. My name is Mohammed Zubair and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro really fast. Today we are going to talk about Power BI tutorial for beginners. In today's video we'll see what is Power BI, how it works and what are its advantages. We'll see how to download it, how to install it, and how we can import different datasets into Power BI. And at the end, we'll also see how we can create different visualization from our datasets. So let's get started. Power BI is a business analytical tool from Microsoft that allows you to create and share reports for business insights. It provides the business intelligence capabilities along with interactive interface which is simple enough for the end user to work with. We can put our data into Power BI to work with, and Power BI will allow us to get the best insights and results from the data. So we'll check out the basics, data visualizations and dashboards. We'll also see that how we can create or modify the data visualization and how we can attach multiple data resources at the same time. So there are two options in Power BI. Either you can simply load your data into Power BI or you can edit that data. We'll see both in a while. First of all, let's download Power BI. Go to your any favorite browser and type Power BI download. Hit enter. The first link will be from the Microsoft. Just click on it. Here you can download it for desktop or even mobile. And even in mobile, you have different options. Like you can download it for Microsoft, you can download it for Apple, and you can download it for Android. Obviously, we are on our desktop, so we will download it for our desktop. Just click on download option. Here you can see that it is asking for opening Microsoft Store. There are also some other ways from where we can download our Microsoft Power BI. But from here you have one benefit. And that benefit is if you download it from Microsoft Store, you do not have to install it. It will download it for you and it will install it for you itself. So we just have to download it from Microsoft Store and rest of the work will be done by Microsoft Store. So here you can see that it is saying launch. It means that I have already downloaded it and I have installed it. To check if it get installed or not, here is the proof that it is being installed successfully, or you can go to search area or search bar of your Windows and type Power BI. Here you can see that it shows Power BI desktop app icon. Just click on it. It will open Power BI. So when you will open it for the first time, it will show you something like this. So here are some information about Power BI, how you can use it. There are some forums related to it. Means if you have some problems, you can go to these forums and you can discuss your problem with your peers or people who are also using Power BI. And here are tutorials. Means you will get to see how to use Power BI in video form or in text form. Okay, so here you can buy it. When we buy it, we will get some more features than the free version. Right now, we are only concerned with beginners or some basic functionality. So what we will do, we will not buy it, we will work on it as it is. So here we have get data options, recent sources mean the sources which we just opened earlier. So we will leave it right at it is. So I will close this window. At the moment, you can see that there is nothing on my screen. There is no data, there is no table, there is no sheet, and there are no reports. So how we are going to import our data? Here is the option which says get data. Just click on it and here are different options. We will go and click on more. After clicking it on more, it will open a window something like this. Here we have several options to choose from, like we can import Excel, We can import XML, we have JSON, we have SQL Server database, we have Access database, which is also from Microsoft. We have IBM, we have Oracle. So we have tons of options here. I don't think so that they have left any type of databases or any type of datasets which cannot be imported into Microsoft Power BI. So if in case you have a data set which is not present in here in this list, you can go to others and you can import that data as well. When we import our data, it will ask you different questions. For example, if we import SQL Server database, it may ask you your server name, your IP addresses, or something like that. But now we are going to import our Excel sheets. So we will click on Excel. I will click on Connect. So it has taken me to a directory where my tables or my data sets or my Excel sheets are available. I will double click on my sheet and it will start to import my data sets into Power BI. So here it is importing into Power BI. We have to wait a little bit. Here you can see it has imported my sheet, Excel sheet, and in my Excel sheet I had different tables and different sheets. But here we are going to work on our tables instead of sheets. So we will select our tables. Here you can preview our tables which we are going to import, and after that, okay, let me check this one as well because this is also a table. So these are the sheets. We are not going to import them. Okay, now we are going to click on load. What it will do, it will load these tables into my Power BI. As you can see, it is processing queries from all the tables. After processing the queries, it will load the data into Power BI as it says load. So we will wait for it to load. Okay, we are done with loading our data into Microsoft Power BI. But you still might think that screen is still empty. Where is the data which we have just imported into our Power BI? So do not worry, as you can see on the right bar of your screen or your window that there are 5 tables: areas, buyers, items, timeline, and turnout. These are the table we have just imported into our Power BI. So how we are going to see them, or how we are going to edit or manipulate the data in them, or how we are going to use them for the visualization, do not worry, we are going towards that. Okay, here are the fields bar in which we have our tables, and here is the visualization bar. Okay, this bar will be used when we will create our visualization for our data. This is the filter bar. What we will do here, when we will import our data for our visualization, we can add or we can apply different or multiple filters on our data for our visualization. So for that filterization, we will use these options. Okay, we are done with these fields. Now let's head it to our left bar. Here you can see there are 3 icons. First one is for reports, second one is for data, and third one is for model. Let's see how our data looks like. Let's click on it. Here you can see that our data looks like this. These are my tables and these are my datas. I can go through one by one. Okay, we have imported this data. Now let's save it. Press Ctrl plus S and I will save it at the same place where my original files were. So I will name it and it will take the extension on its own. So I will just click on save. So my data has been saved. Let's head back to our directory where our Excel files were present. Here you can see that my file named skills build, which I have just created, and my original file which says work database. You can see the difference between the sizes of these two documents, but these two have same content in them. Then why is the case that they have different sizes? The reason is our data gets compressed when we use it in Microsoft BI. You can say that is the beauty of Microsoft BI, that we can use millions of rows and columns to work with, and our data file size will not be as big as it should be. So this is the power of Power BI. Now let's head back to our Power BI. Now let's go back to our model option. I'll click on it. Here you can see there are different tables, and in tables we have different combinations or relation. As you can see here we have one to many relation. I will explain them later what we mean by one to many relation. Okay, now if I move here, here you can see that we have different tables. These are the same tables which we have just imported from our Excel file. It might look like these tables are familiar to you. For example, if you have worked with class diagrams or you have worked on ERD diagram, which is called entity relationship diagram, those both look like same. It might not be difficult for you to understand what kind of relationship these tables are depicting with each other. I will explain them as well. Now let's import another file into our Power BI. For that I do not have to go to get data and then click on more and then just import my data. That was just to show you and just to make you understand what type and how many types of data you can import into Power BI. I will just click on Excel because I know I'm going to import Excel type of dataset. I will click on Excel and I will import this file. I will double click on it and it will start to import my data. Here you can see this total budget has been imported. I will check this checkbox and here I can preview this file. I will not load it because I want to transform or edit this file because I believe there are some changes to be made. So for that purpose, I'll click on transform data. What it will do, it will open a new Power BI window for me, and there I can make different changes or the changes I want in the file. So here you can see that I have null values in upper three rows. I'm going to delete top three rows. So how we can do it? I'll just click on this icon which says remove rows. I'll click on it. I'll say top rows because these are present on the top of file. So I'll click on it. So what it will ask me now, it will ask me the number of rows I want to delete. I know I have three rows, so I'll type 3. I'll click on OK. So as you can see, it has just deleted top 3 rows. Okay. Now here you can see that my column names are column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, which is not as good as it should be because it does not makes any sense. What do we mean by column 3 or column 5 or even column 7? So it should have some reasonable or meaningful name. So what I can do is I can make my first line as my headings as well. And for that, I do not have to do anything special. I just can click on this button or icon which says used first row as headers. I'll just click on it and let's see what the magic happens. Okay, as you can see that my names have been changed. Now you can see there are some more null values in my data. So how I can delete them or remove them? For that purpose, I'll click on this top down menu and I'll go to text filters and I will click on does not contain. It will give me something like this. I'll type here total because if you can see that total is present here, total is present here, total is present here, and total is present here. So these are the fields which contains total. So I want to contain only those fields which do not have total in it. I will click on OK. So here you can see those fields are gone. Okay, so these are the categories, different fields like class, subclass, name of product, product key. So we are done with deleting those fields. So now if I go at the end of my file, here you can see which says grand total. I do not need that grand total because I will do it myself. I do not need a predefined or pre-calculated grand total. Okay, to delete that, I'll just right click on this column and here it says remove. I'll click on remove and here you can see it has been removed. Okay, If I go back to the beginning of my file, here you can see it says January, February, March, April, and up to December. So we have only 12 months of data. We can handle this data. But what if we had like 10, 15 or 20 years of data, which means I would have 120 or even 240 months of data, which could have been a really problem or really difficult for us to manage. To cope up with that type of problem, I will just do one thing. I'll click on it. I'll go at the end of my document. I will hold the shift key and I'll click here. So what it will do, it has selected all the columns. Now, what I want it to do, I want it to convert this into pivot column. What pivot column means, I'll show you in a while. To convert this into pivot column, we have two options. One is from here, click on transform, and from here, click on unpivot column. Or second option is right click on any column, and here you have options for unpivot columns. I'll click on it. As you can see here that now I have more arranged data as compared to other. Earlier, I had data January, February, March, April, May, June in different columns. Now I have that data in my rows. Like you can see January, February, March, April up to December. Again, it starts January, February, March, April, and up to so on. But now my data is making more sense to me as it was doing earlier. So we are done with this. Here you can see it says attributes and it says value. It doesn't make any sense when we have months and year of data and it says attributes. So I'll just rename it. To do that, right click on it and click on rename. I'll name it as months. So here I will change this value to total budget because value doesn't make any sense. I will name it total budget because it shows the budget against each category or against each class or subclass of my products. So I'll just type total budget and I can hit enter or I can click anywhere on the screen and it will change the name for me. Okay, now we are done with editing and manipulating or deleting something or deleting some rows and columns. Now we know that our data is purified. Now what we will do, we will save this data and go back to our main window. To do this, I will go to my home tab and here you can see it says close and apply. I'll just click on it. What it will do, it will apply those changes on my data and it will close that window. Now here you can see it is bringing that data set or that file into my main window. Okay, if I reduce the sizes of these tables, I will be able to show these tables in more appropriate way for you. So I'll remove this relation. I'll make our own relation right now and I will explain what do we mean by these tables and these relations. Okay, now I will rearrange my tables so that I can have better visualization for my data and it will be easier for me to make relations and explain it to you. I will rearrange my tables. Now is the time to make different relations in my data set. To do that, you must have known the concept of keys. In database, we have different keys like primary key and secondary keys. So same concept will be applied here. Okay, so first of all, I'll make the relation between turnout table and the buyers table. To do that, you can see I have a key named key of customer and I'll just click on it and I will drop it to buyer's key. Here you can see that it has made a relationship and it says one and here it says steric. So what does it mean by one and steric? It says that a buyer can have multiple number of turnouts, but one turnout can only have one buyer. So that is why it says one too many. Okay, now we will make other relationships as well. So for the next relation, I will click on items key and I will drop it on items key in item table. So here you can see it has made a relationship between both these two. So next relationship will be between our turnout table and our area table. So for that purpose, I will look for sales territory key. Here it is my sales territory key. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drop it on sales territory key in my area table. So here you can see that it is making a relationship and it has just done that. Okay. Now we have one more relationship to make between our turnout tables and our timeline tables. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for order date. What I will do, I will click on it or I will hold it and I'm going to drop it on the date in my timeline table. You might have noticed that the names are also making some sense when we make relationships. For example, when we made the relationship for our key of customer with our buyers, so name also suggests that customer will be related or linked with the buyer. So this is very easy to understand. Now we are done with this table. Now it comes the second table, which is total budget. In total budget, I'll make a relationship of it with items table. So for that purpose, I will select or I will click on my product key. I will hold it and I will drop it to item key in my items. So it will make a relationship between both these tables. So as you can see, it has made a relationship between both these tables. Okay. And for the last relationship, I will choose month from my total tables. And for the last relationship, I will choose months from my total budget. I will hold it. I will drop it on to date in my timeline budget. So here you can see that it is making a relationship, and here you can see it has just made a relationship between months and dates, between total budget and timeline table. So we are done with making relationships. Now click on this option which says reports. I'll click on it. So here you can see I have a new window open, but there is nothing at the moment. So here comes the big part. Now we are going to use our visualization, our filters and our fields. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going in my turnout table, and from that table, I'm going to use my sales amount. I'll click on it. I will bring it here and I will drop into this box. So as you can see that my sales amount which were present in my tables or in my data set have been presented here. Okay, here we have three options. First one is field, second one is search or formatting. We can apply a different formatting on our data. I'll show you something from it. Then we have analytics. So if I write here size, here you can see that it had shown me a size. I can increase my size of my data or my text. You can see it is changing as I'm changing the size here. So I'll leave it on 12. Okay, we have now dropped our sales into our multi-row card. Now let's go back and go back to our timeline, and from here let's take years and drop it in here. Okay, sorry, it will not accept this because I have to go to my fields option first. I'll click on it. Now I will go back and I will drop it here. So here what it has done, it has shown me years and sales amount, but we know we had different number of years with months. So what I'm going to do, I'm going here and here you can see a drop down menu option. I'll click on it. So what it has done basically, it has summarized all the number of years with each other and it has shown the sum here. As you can see from the options, I can have average, minimum, maximum, count, standard deviation, variance, median, and different options which I can apply on my years and I can show them here. So I'll say it, do not summarize. I'll click on it. So here you can see that it has shown me the data for different number of years. Like for 2014, it had shown me different amount. For 2015, it is showing me different amount. And for 2016, it is showing me different amount. So we can see that it has distributed the data on the basics of years here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick months and I'm going to drop it in between years and sales amount. I will bring it here and I will drop it. So let's see what it will do. Let's see, as you can see that it is showing me the data of April, August, December, February, January, July, June, March, May, November, December. So it is showing me different kind of data with respect to number of months. So earlier it was showing me the data with respect to years. Now it is showing me the data with respect to months. How cool it is. It is the power of BI. We can visualize or we can edit or we can implement the data as per our choices. Okay, now let's head to our buyers table and from here look for buyers key. Here it is. Click on it, keep pressing and bring it under the sales amount and drop it here. What it did here, it had shown me the buyers key who have bought something in the month of April in 2014. So how cool it is that we have data with respect to every buyer. We can check who was the buyer, what did it bought, or for what amount he did the shopping. Okay, let's make another table. For that, I will just come here, I will just click it. After rearranging it, I will go to my turnout table and from turnout table, I will select my sales amount. I will just drop it in here and you can see here I have my data about sales amount. In front of it, I will go to my areas table and from there I will bring country here. If I drop it in here, you can see that it is showing me the sales amount with respect to country. As you can see, it is showing me some information about Australia. Then we have a name, we have a city named Bahawalpur. Then we have country France. Then we have a country Germany, Istanbul, KPK, which is a province in Pakistan. Then we have Multan, then we have Sindh, then we have United Kingdom. Now it is showing me the data or sales amount with respect to the countries. How cool it is that we can have data with respect to different parameters. Earlier, I tried to see my data with respect to my customer IDs and with respect to months and years. Now I can see the data with respect to countries as well. So how cool is it? So these were some of the numbers which were created by the files on its own. Means these were the number present in the files, in the Excel file, even before importing them into my Power BI. So what if I want to create my new measure? So for that purpose, I'll just go to modeling. From there, I will click on new measure and from new measure, name it sales equals. Now I will write my formula. As I want the sum for my sales, for that purpose, I'll write sum. As you can see, it is giving me suggestions. So I will just enter it. Now it is saying me, what do you want to have as sum? So I know I want to have sum of sales amount. For that, I will write sales or I will write, even if I write amount, it has shown me the suggestion. So I will just click on it. Now you can see that my formula is completed. If I hit enter here, it will create a field or a new measure for me. But I do not want to do it here because my area table has been opened up. I did not want it to be here. I want this in my sales table or my turnout table. For that purpose, I will just delete this. I will click on these three dots and I will click on delete. Okay, it is asking me if I'm sure. Yes, I am sure. Okay, what I'll do here, I will wait for it to get completed and after that I will close my areas table and I will go to my turnout tables. So here I will make a new measure. Okay, for that purpose, now I will name my new measure. I will name it sale equal to sum. Yes, I want to sum it. What I want to sum it? If I write here amount, what type of amount? Yes, sales amount. Now I will click on it. I will just hit enter. As you can see that my sales have been created here. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to delete this table and after that I'm going to make a new table here. And in that table, I will drop two things here. First of all, I will drop sales amount. So I will drop my sale also here. So for that purpose, I will drag it and I will drop it here. So these both are showing me same numbers. So what is the difference between them? So why did we do the hassle to make this a new measure when it is showing me the same amount or same number? So the difference is that was created explicitly. Sales amount. If we talk about sale amount, it was by default. But if we talk about sale, I have created it. We have created it. So it means we have more power over it. It was just to show you how we can create a new measure. If I wanted to have different type of computation or different type of formula in my new measure, I could have used it. I just showed it to you. I can have different formulas. Okay. One other difference is if we go to sales amount and click on drop down menu, here you can see we have different options like sum, average, minimum, maximum, and so on. But if I come to my sales table, I do not have any option, which means I have just created specifically for the sum purpose. So what I'm going to do for the next time, that whenever I need my sales and I want the sum of my sales, I will just use my this new measure. I do not have to go to sales amount and then from there I have to check if I am using sum or by mistakenly if I am not using the other one. So now I do not have to worry about that as well. Okay, that was the advantage of making our new measure. If we go to our modeling, here you can see that we have new measure and we have one more options which says new column. So what it is going to do? So for that purpose, let's get back to our data window. For that, I will just click on it. And from that, we have now our different options. Here you can see that I have two columns. One is sales amount and other one is tax amount. I do not want that. I want them to be added together because both are for the same purpose or both will deliver me the same meaning. For that purpose, I'll just come into my new column. I will click on it. And for that purpose, I will just write it as total turnout equals. So what I want to do, I want to add these two columns. What I will do here, sales, as it says sales amount, yes, plus tax amount. For that I will write tax, and here you can see it is showing me the column. I will just enter or double click on it, and yes, now I'm again going to hit enter. So here you can see that it is working on it, and after working on it, it has shown me the new column, which is the sum of these two columns. So now I do not have to use these two differently or separately. I can use both of them as a single entity. So that is the power of Power BI. Now let's head back to our report window. Now I have my total budget, my sales amount with respect to every month, with respect to years as well. So what I'm going to do now, I want to have my year here as well. So I will bring my year and I will drop it here. So now I have my data with respect to year as well. So I will just don't summarize it. So here you can see that I have my data with respect to years as well. So here you can see that I have my data with respect to my months in my 2016 table, and here I have total budget for that year and I have my sales amount. So now what I want to do, I want to have a difference between my sales amount and my total budget. So for that purpose I will need a new measure. So now you can have a better understanding what a new measure can do. I will just close my this table, go to my budget table, and here I will click on new measure. So I will name my new measure as variance, and I have formula for it here, as you can see in the formula bar. So I have created my new formula here, which says variance is the difference between sales and budget total. Sales or sales amount, they both had same value, so it doesn't affect it anymore. So what I'm going to do here, I will just hit enter. So now you can see that it has created a new measure for me which says variance. And now I know what is the meaning of variance. In variance, I have the difference between sales and budget total. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop it under the sales amount. So see what happens. As you can see that it is showing me the difference between sales amount and total budget. This number is very big, so you might not be able to see the difference immediately, but if you see closely that it is showing me some. So this is the beauty of making our own measures. So till now we have seen that how we can manipulate or how we can add our different type of measures, or we can use different formulas, or how we can use our already present data into our different kind of visualization models or visualization options. And we have also made a new measure which we named it as variance, budget total, sales, and something like that. So now what we are going to do, we are going to finally see visualization of our data. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to delete these tables because I do not need them anymore. Well, I can use them as well for my visualization, but we will create our visualization from zero. Okay, if we talk about visualization, 80-20 rules applies here. What does it mean by 80-20 rules? It says that your 80% effort should be on the query editing. Means that you should spend your 80% efforts and time while you are editing your model or your data. And it says that only 20% of your effort should be on visualization, because if you have a purified, error-free, and a complete data, it will result in better visualization. But if you have unpurified or full of error data, no matter how much effort you are going to put on visualization, it is not going to have a better visualization than the data which was clear, error free, and was purified. So that is why it says that you should follow the 80-20 rules. For the visualization, we can use cards, shapes, images, and text, etc. Now let's make a visualization for our data. First of all, I will use multi-line card or multiple line card, and in that I will use my different fields or my different measures from different tables. So for that purpose, first of all, let's click on multi-row card. Now I will bring my sales here. For that purpose, here is my sale. I will drag it and I will drop it here. Now you can see that my sales are shown here. After that, I'll bring my budget. For that purpose, I will go to my budget table, and from there I will bring my total budget. So as you can see that total budget is showing on the screen. So for the next, I will bring my variance. That was the measure which we created ourselves. For I will just keep clicking on it, I will drag it and I'm going to drop it. So if I drop it here, you can see that I have sales, total budget, and I have variance. So what I can do here, I can apply a different type of formatting here on my this data. And for that purpose, I will come here which says format. I'll click on it. Here I have different options. I want to have a little bit of bigger size. For that purpose, I will search for size, and here it shows me size. I want it to have for example like 16. Okay, now you can see that my numbers are more visible to you. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a shape here. For that purpose, I will click on insert, I will click on shapes, and from there I will click on rectangle. Okay, now I will rearrange it. Now I will format my shape here. For that purpose, I will go to my line. I do not want it to show here. So what I'll do, I will increase my transparency for my line. So you can see that now there is no line here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to close it. Now I'm going to fill it. Now you can see that I have created my color. Now I'm going to increase my transparency for that. Yes, you can see that I have made, let's make it 50%. Now after 50%, you can see that it is showing me something like this. Bring it here and I'm going to drop on my data. So you can see that now I have a better visualization of my data with some shapes and with some colors. Now it is more pleasing to the eyes as it was earlier. Now let's add a chart here. For that purpose, I will go to visualization, and here I have different types of charts here. And from there, I will choose a clustered bar chart. So I will click on it. So you can see here, this is my cluster bar chart. I will rearrange it. I will maximize its size or increase its size. In here, I will drop my data. So what type of data it is going to be? So let's see. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add my budget here, which was my budget, total budget. So next I want to have my sales. For that purpose, I have to go my turnout table, and in turnout table, I will look for sales. Here it is, and I will drop it here. So here you might see that there is a lot difference between sales and my budget. So it is because you can see here that my budget was a humongous amount with respect to my total budget. So that is why it is showing a little bit of line in front of my total sales. So there is nothing to worry about. If you have a data which is something similar in numbers, it will show you equal lines on your graphs. So next thing I want to have in my items, I want to see my data with respect to my categories. So what I am going to do, I will just drag these categories and I will drop into x's, not into values. Remember, I am going to drop it into my x's. So here you can see that it is showing me the data with respect to bikes, accessories, then I have clothing. So my most of the sales, I mean more than 90% of my sales were from accessories and little bit from bikes and little bit from clothing. That's why it is showing a really small data with respect to bikes and clothing. This is how we can make our charts work for our visualization. Now let's add a table here. For that, I'll click on my table, which is right here. I'm going to increase its size so that it can be more visible to our eyes, or we can make better understanding from the data which is going to be presented here. And in that, I'm going to drop my sales, and here comes my sales, and I want to have my items category. For that purpose, I will go to my items table, and from there I will click on my categories. Now you can see that it is showing me the data according to my categories of items. Okay, I also want to see my sales with respect to my product's name. So for that purpose, I will bring my product names and I will drop it here. So here you can see that it is showing me the data with respect to products names as well. So these are my products name, and these are from the categories of accessories. If I bring it down here I can have bikes, which is category, and in that category I have different types of bikes, or you can say the product's name. So if I scroll down more here, so you will see a new category which says clothing. In clothing I have different products name, different products. So if we see on the left side, this is the amount of sales. So we are done with adding our products or our categories with respect to our sales. Now we can do some editing here. For that purpose, I go to my format, and here I will search for colors. For that purpose, I will just write color, and here you can see that it is showing me color. So I can change my colors here. For that purpose, let's say I choose here blue. For my grids, here you can see that it is changing, and for my horizontal grid color, I want to have golden. Let's say, okay, let's use this. Now here you can see that it is making more sense now, and it is more visible to the eyes. Now we have one more option here which says font color. So what will look good on golden and blue? I think black is good, but now for the experimental purpose, let's change it to red. So here you can see that my category names or my columns names have been changed to red. So from here you can change the background color, which I think in this case is good enough. There is no need to change for it. If we scroll down, we have different more options. Like for values, if I choose values, I want to have it a different color. For example, if I click on it, you can see that I have now two colors. If I say right here size, so we can have option related to the size. If I delete it, now I can see that these are the options which are available to me. So this was all my visualization of my data. So I hope now in this video I was able to make you understand about Power BI, how we can download it, how we can install it, and how we can use Power BI for our different data sets. I have also shown you that how we can import different number of data sets into our Power BI, and how we can load them and how we can edit them. So that's it for this video. I hope you have liked this video and you were able to learn something new from this video. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video.